Hello, everyone, and welcome to the premiere episode of our autism awareness podcast called Spectrum Stories. I'm your host, and my name is Aarav Sharma. I'm an autism advocate and founder of Allyhq.ai, which is a communication platform for families of special needs children. In our podcast, we invite change makers for the autism community who are making a huge positive impact in their lives through their work. So today we have with us our special guest, Dr. Jennifer Carauddo. Dr. Carauddo is the owner of Aligned Health Chiropractic. She focuses on the assessment of the spine and nervous system, as well as healthy lifestyle choices to optimize the health of her practice members. She has a family-based practice with a special focus on pediatrics, pregnancy, and addressing the neurological dysfunction that is present in conditions such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and autism spectrum disorders. She uses the fundamentals of this coursework to help her practice members understand how movement influences health, longevity, and the quality of life. She's passionate about volunteerism and has significantly devoted her time in focusing on autism and how to improve the quality of life and function through her weekly course, which she teaches at FCSN. This course has a focus on postural conditioning, balance, strength, and hand-eye coordination. Through movement and focused exercise, great strides have been made in this class with both the physical results as well as the social, emotional benefits. So without further delay, let's welcome Dr. Carauddo. Thank you so much for giving me your time today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I think this is wonderful that you're doing this.
Thank you so much. And let's dive straight into your journey.
Okay.
So my first question is, I remember reading your article in FCSN Voices, and it mentioned that you had actually started this program because of an initial conversation which you had. So could you elaborate more about this initial conversation?
Yes, this class was really started as a result of a conversation that I had with my friend Bob Carlson, and he had come to me and said that he was doing work projects with the kids at FCSN. So doing things like raking leaves and picking up leaves and that sort of thing. And he was really noticing how weak they were, that because of the pandemic and because of a lot of the challenges that they have, that they were having a lot of issues with balance and posture. And I think posture was a big focus. And I think he made that connection between posture and not having strength and not being able to do the things that they want to do. They didn't have good mobility. And because of the pandemic and not being able to get out as much, that was really a challenge for them. And that was really how our class started. And it's definitely been a journey for sure. It's really quite challenging, I think, to have a class and where everybody has different needs and you try to meet those needs.
Definitely. That sounds like a really great class. And I was really curious to know about the role which you think that this class can provide in terms of inclusivity. So what role do you think that this provides in terms of like empowerment within the special needs community?
I think that is a huge part of the class that we really appreciated right from the beginning, was that we were there to teach them about strength, balance, but we also really learned that there's a lot more that they need in the way of being included, feeling loved, feeling accepted, I think we all feel that with exercise, like that somebody's watching you, or I'm not doing it right. A level of confidence and self-assurance comes with being able to move your body and be in a safe space. And I think that's probably one of the most beautiful things that we've seen in that transition with them over the course of a year is confidence. When you exercise, you move your body and you're in a safe environment with people that really care about you and are trying to help you. They're motivating you and you're sharing that space, that energy together. You create a collective energy that creates synergy. And that's the most beautiful thing about the class. Yes, they've gotten stronger, they've gotten more fit, but I think the confidence and feeling included, doing it with other people, just like for you and I, it's a lot more fun to be in a group doing something than to be alone doing something.
Yeah, and I definitely think that this confidence aspect, as well as the carefree aspect, was shown through the musical chairs game.
Yeah.
Really intrigued to see that part included in your story as well. And it also seemed to be like a really fun aspect of your class. So can you describe like how you came up with that idea and what benefits have you observed in addition to the freedom through this incorporation?
So that was always the thing that I really was like, yes, I'll do this class, but I could really see it being, okay, we'll do this and it's really boring. It's not fun. And we always led with fun. Like whatever we're going to do, we need to have fun because if we don't have fun, we're not going to build relationships with them. We're not going to build trust with them. It would just be like for you and I, this is just boring. Do some planks, do some mountain climbing. And so we did two things. We did musical chairs was one, but we always start our day with dance because they all pretty much all love dance. And I think everybody loves to dance. And we've learned to be more free with our dance too. So what we would do when we do our warm up was we figured out that they like dance. We'll get in a circle and then each friend has to go in the center of the circle and they need to do a dance move. It could be any dance move. Some, if they don't know what to do, it's just move your feet side to side. Some people do skiers, and that was a really good way to get them more confident, build their self-esteem, have fun. So we started the class with fun, and then we would end the class with musical chairs, and musical chairs is a big hit. It was really started by we wanted to end with something that they enjoyed, and we tried a few different things. Like we tried Duck Duck Goose, which didn't go over that. We tried some other ones, which are a little harder to get the coordination. And we found that they really like musical chairs and they get quite competitive. And I feel like it's a good exercise to do because it's fun, but it's also you need some balance, some agility and some some coordination between your movements. And so they've gotten quite competitive now where we have to hold them back a little bit. Okay, you can't touch anybody. You can't touch the chair. You can't touch friends. And they're learning. What was really cool about musical chairs was that they also learned how to lose, because I said that's really a big part of musical chairs too, is not just winning, but some of them had a real challenge with losing. And we talked about that's a good thing to learn how to be a good loser. Hey, you know what? That's okay. Good job. Congratulate your friend. Tell him good job that he won musical chairs. Maybe you'll win next week. And so they've had to learn what it's like to win and be the champion, or what it's like to be the loser, and how do you conduct yourself when you lose.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that these like life lessons are definitely very valuable because it can definitely help them in the future as well. And going deeper into your course, so I noticed that you guys had actually played a basketball game, which had emphasized more upon the eye-hand coordination. There's a different level in terms of how comfortable special needs children are, especially with eye-hand coordination tasks. So how did you adapt to this aspect?
It's challenging with that. With some of them are really good with hand-eye coordination and they have no problem like catching a basketball. And then some of them, like we have one client who he is I think he's legally blind or almost legally blind. That's really challenging for him because of so he doesn't have a lot of confidence. He couldn't throw the ball. He would just shake. And so we had to really work on just getting really close and building that confidence so that just throwing the ball, he could do that with confidence. And he got to the point where he could not only throw the ball, but we started, okay, we'll bounce the ball one time and then catch it and then bounce the ball one time. So they have just amazing abilities, just like you and I, to adapt, but they need that confidence and that one-on-one support sometimes in order to build those skills. So we've gotten really lucky as we've grown our program. We're getting more help, and that has been really helpful now because some of the parents are coming in and helping us because we need a lot of one-on-one support. And for a while, there was a handful of us, but we're always trying to give them the support that they need. And they all have different needs. Some it's hand-eye coordination, some it's strength, some it's confidence. So that's, I think, been really helpful to get more of the parent involvement so that we can get better results with them and get them more like support, and also raise the collective energy so that there's a more of a sense of community and involvement, that we're working together as a team to get them the best result possible.
Yeah, so I would say that as a fellow coach myself, as well as like a STEM tutor for special needs children, I've noticed that a lot of these special needs children have some sort of challenges that are associated in the beginning. And Also, when I first became involved with FCSN, a lot of people obviously had not heard of me before, so it was more of an experiment with my course.
Yes. Same. It's been an experiment would be a good way to put it for sure. There's been a big learning curve, right? Because there's not, you can't go on Google and be like, how do I do this? I think every time you have a group of friends together, they're going to have different challenges and different needs, and it's meeting those needs. And I think it's just overall, I've learned that it's most important just to come with passion and love. Like, you're in a safe environment. We're passionate about being here and helping you. And we believe in you. Like, we believe that you can do this. Cause I think there's a general feeling overall of just, no, I can't do that. I can't do musical chairs. I can't dance. I'm too shy. I'm too weak. and it's no, we believe in you and we encourage and push you, but we also support you if you're having a bad day and like we have one girl that she's been struggling with headaches lately. So she normally is very engaged, but we've been letting her kind of take a back seat a little because she doesn't feel good. And we want to support that. But we also have other friends who's like, okay, we know like you need to do the exercise. We know you're trying to get out of it. So nice try, but keep going. Keep going. Get up.
As a teacher myself, I saw that it was definitely like a learning curve for me, especially when I was first introduced to special needs children, because I'd created my own slides. I had prepared well with my course content, but as soon as I had started interacting with special needs children, it just felt that there was a different sense of interaction that had to grow, and I eventually was able to adapt. So as a teacher yourself, was there like a particular moment in which you saw that maybe you just needed to adapt towards the benefits and like advantages of special needs children? And if so, how did you adapt as a person?
Oh yeah, all the time because you have special needs, and I feel you constantly have to be adapting to their needs. And every day with a special needs client, they have sometimes different needs every week that you see them. So every week you might be adapting and changing and trying to meet their needs for where they're at. Like the girl right now, we have the client that has the constant headaches. We have to change what we're doing with her because she's having some challenges. So there's a constant, I think no matter how much you prepare, that's one of the things with them that does make it really, I think, interesting and different is that no matter how much you prepare, there's always going to be things that you have to roll or adapt and you have to be very flexible because they're going to have good days, they're going to have bad days, and you need to show up in a way that creates flexibility and
Right.
just have fun. I think to like how to like those of us that are like I'm very prepared too and very organized. And I think you have to step outside that comfort zone and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with it and free myself. Like I have an idea of what I'm doing, but also I'm gonna be flexible, knowing that it's really we're here for them. We're here to meet their needs, and it may not always like fit into that what we think is going to happen structure.
And I also think that along with confidence and stepping out of your comfort show, I think that experience definitely would play a really pivotal role, especially as a tutor with special needs children. Going straight into your program again. So looking ahead, what are some of your future plans and aspirations for the program? And like, how do you envision its growth overall? And what do you plan to implement in order to achieve this goal?
Yeah, we've changed it a little bit. So it used to be in a small auxiliary room, and now we're in like the big room. And so we have a lot more friends. Like the last 3 or 4 weeks, we have a lot more parent support. So we are really changing a lot as a result of that. And again, going back to that just willingness to be adaptable and go with the flow. It's not as organized as it like we used to have. Okay, we do with plan A, B, and C, and we did those exercises. And now we have a whole different setup, and every week we have more clients. That's good. And it presents a challenge because now we just have a lot more clients to tend to and a lot more needs, but it's been fun. We've been doing some different things like obstacles and doing like an obstacle course or I can't think of the word, but like stations. So it's like you do like an army crawl station, you do like a plank station, and then they have to rotate. So we've been doing that, which is really fun. I think we always just trying to find ways that we can incorporate new ways for them to have fun. And last week we learned that they actually like competitions. So we did like an army crawl and we had two friends competing against each other. And then at the people at the end, once you got to the end, you were the cheerleader. So then you were cheering your friends and they just thought that was super fun. So I feel like there's always an evolution because it's not something that, again, like we can go on Google and be like, how do I do this? And we did try going on Google, like finding stuff. But it's really something that really is a process that you evolve with and you learn from them what they like and what they need and how do we like get them strong. And this week we worked on posture too, which that has been a real, as like my background is like looking at structure and postural awareness and the nervous system. And it has really troubled me that they have such bad posture and that we're starting the exercise with poor posture. So one of the things that we're working on as a team, because we have a whole team, it's not just me, like we have 4 or 5 other people that have been doing this for a year, is that we're working on every week now, we're going to work on posture first. So what is good posture? So that when we start the exercise, we're not starting it in bad posture. And that's really been a big challenge is the hunched shoulders, the pelvis. They're starting the exercise in bad posture and then we have to correct it. So I think working with them every week for 5 minutes or so on get the shoulders back, get the head up. A lot of them, like their head is really forward, the shoulders are really forward. This is really not how we start exercise. Any exercise you do, you're going to really start first with good form and then build. So we're trying to work on that. And then we incorporated that as well as balance. So we're going to work on balance every week. So last week we did a tightrope and they actually thought that was super fun. And some of them really struggled with that. They can't do the tightrope. We try to encourage them and say, you know what, it's going to get easier every week. It's good that you're struggling. It's good that you're wobbling. Every time you do it, it's going to get a little easier to do that. That's part of balance. That's part of our nervous system. It's part of being healthy and it's part of being staying independent, right? Yeah. So we got fun things like we have so much. And so we only have an hour a week. So there's like an infinite amount of things that we can work on, but we just try to rotate it and we try to go with what they need and they enjoy so that we can get the best result for them.
You've offered so many innovative ideas. I might just steal one of them and implement in my own courses. So I've noticed that towards the end of my badminton course, I was like really happy to see that a lot of the students which I've worked with, they were implementing some of the suggestions that I'd given them, like in order to have just an overall more fun time, and they were able to engage in rallies. Going with your experience, could you highlight a memorable moment which made you proud as a tutor for these special needs children?
It's so hard to pick one moment. There's one client who he always makes me proud because he just always tries so much and he started off so weak. And every week I see him, I'm just so proud of him. It's his strength, like he couldn't do a plank. He couldn't do really any of the exercises. Every week I see him, I just see how hard he tries, like how much spirit he has and how strong he is compared to when he started. And I think the best part about him every week is like his confidence. I see that he feels good about himself and he is proud of himself. And I think he seems more like there's more, like he's more capable. And I think that's probably the thing that makes me most proud is that they enjoy it. And we get as much from them as they get from us. Like I get lots of stories and special moments with them, but there's so many things that I'm proud of them that I can see the human potential with them. So it's such a beautiful thing.
Definitely, I would say that growth and confidence are, I would say, like the two main aspects that are consistent with both of our experiences. Then I think that transitions really nicely towards my last question of, do you have any message for special needs families in terms of remaining strong Because I've noticed that like in the beginning, their confidence is a little bit low. Their self-esteem is also a little bit low. So how can these special needs families just remain strong?
That's such a great question, right? Not having that, like not having been in that position myself. But I think it is an important question. I think what I see with them is just always be a champion for them and to hold that space where you see the potential, because I think that's what I've learned most is that they're capable of so much more than you could ever realize. And just keeping positive and keeping just, I think whether you're autistic or not, just always trying to keep the body moving, get outside in the fresh air, get away from the screen, keep a positive attitude, those lifestyle components that, and when you're happy, they're happy. Take care of yourself too. Take care of yourself. It's such a tough job. It's not something that I could really speak about being a parent, but I've seen a lot of parents that have young people that have autism and other conditions. And I think you got to take care of yourself too and work on your own health so that you can be the best version of yourself for them. And I think that's a very hard thing because it's such a all consuming job.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say, a journey in that there will be a lot of ups and downs, which you might face as a parent, but I think that there's a lot of raw potential with these special needs children. And just like being a parent and like seeing these and experiencing these ups can really make you feel happier about yourself as well as your children. And just overall, you get a better sense of meaning in your life. So that's all for today, folks. And Dr. Carauddo, thank you so much for providing your valuable time. It was a pleasure meeting you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And to our audience, thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll return soon with another change maker. And until then, take care of yourself and remember, inclusion leads to innovation. So peace out.